Episode 5 of 1923 Season 2 starts with Father Renal and the detective continuing to look for Tiona Rainwater. They do manage to find a witness, but it takes Renard stepping foot in a bar to convince the marshal of this town to loosen his lips. The man admits he found Tiona back in the canyon and she helped gather the herd, but he's not sure of her exact whereabouts now. However, it's clear they're closing in all the same. As for Tiona, she and Pete decide to split up while off on the run, with Pete doubling back to buy her some time. Meanwhile, Spencer is awakened by that female sheriff we saw a few episodes back, Mamie. She decides to bring him along to Amarillo so they can figure out exactly what he may be hiding. Given she's flanked by several guys and they all have guns, Spencer doesn't really have much of a choice here. As for Alex, she finds herself struggling while on the train to Chicago. She doesn't have any food as she hasn't paid for dinner service, but the conductor offers her meals in exchange for working off her debt. This stems from back-breaking work as a waitress, clearing tables and serving food. Unfortunately, it doesn't take long for one of the men on board to slimily try his luck with Alex when she accidentally spills hot water on him. This, I'm afraid, will be something we circle back to shortly. For now, Alex finishes her shift and hungrily gobbles up her stew and bread. Furthermore though, Alex is needed in the morning, so it's straight to bed for the early morning breakfast service at 6 AM. Back in her room, the woman whom Alex has been sharing with talks to her about work. She's got a pretty cynical outlook on life, including how one needs to be opportunistic in this world to get ahead, specifically through stealing or marrying to success. She doesn't think Alex has the grit to stick it out for a life in the US, but as for her, she admits that she's doing what she can for her children. And as she says herself, mothers can endure anything. At breakfast, Alex shows up bright and early and there's only a few people at the tables, which I guess is unsurprising given it's so early in the morning. The couple here are talking finances and Alex certainly knows a thing or two about this. She chirps up with confirmation over why the French are having such a torrid time with their francs and the mess they're in with loans. Impressed, the man here gives her a generous tip for her troubles. Unfortunately, that creepy guy from dinner service is here too, and he winds up violating Alex. Given what she's been through this season, Alex snaps, and after pouring hot water on him, proceeds to constantly smash the coffee jug over his head. This gets Alex a one-way ticket to the makeshift cell at the back of the train, and the conductor doesn't entertain her side of the story at all. Instead, this matter is for the Chicago police to decide. When they arrive in Chicago, police roughly move Alex out, but thankfully that nice couple from breakfast show up and speak their piece. They saw everything and here they reveal the truth, including how Alex is actually the victim and are even willing to give statements against this creepy horrible guy. Given these are first class passengers as well, they obviously hold a lot more weight in what they're saying compared to the commoners. This does the trick with the authorities and Alex is free to go. Unfortunately, her train to Fargo has been cancelled and she's stuck in the middle of nowhere indefinitely. That is until the couple decide to take her under their wing and head on over to Winnetka. Back at Amarillo though, Mamie rings through to the switchboard, determined to figure out what Spencer's story may be. She gets through to Sheriff McDowell, who confirms Spencer's identity. He doesn't want war to come to town, but as far as Spencer is aware, it's already there. Mamie lets him go and Spencer even gets a train ticket back home, where it seems inevitable that war is on the horizon. As the episode closes out, we cut back to Pete, who winds up spying Father Renald and a detective nearby. A chase ensues, but Pete stumbles off his horse in the process. He grabs his rifle and fires, but we cut to black before we see the outcome of who may have shot whom. So 1923 returns this week and both Spencer and Alex's journeys take centre stage, and it continues to see road bumps hit both of them along the way. Given the amount of time we're spending with both characters this season, the show is certainly dragging out their respective rides for the sake of it. Unfortunately, we've also only got 3 episodes left now, and it's clear that while this season does have some good period drama, there are a lot of redundant storylines that just aren't progressing the narrative all that far. Everybody here is just waiting for Spencer and Alex to reunite and get back to the ranch, and it's clear now that the writers certainly know that. These two journeys have been milked a lot and dragged out for the sake of it. For example, last week with Spencer on the train, why did he jump off? Why not just roll the scavengers off the carriage? Why wait for them to fall asleep before falling asleep yourself, knowing that they're going to rob you? All of these little contrivances all add up to a journey that's been dragged out far longer than perhaps necessary. And speaking of people on the run, Tiona's subplot with the detective doesn't really coincide with the Dutton Ranch, and thus it's nowhere near as engrossing as what we're seeing in the other storylines. Given the build-up we've been given surrounding Donald Whitfield, it's going to be pretty annoying if everything is just ended immediately with a simple shootout when Spencer returns home, rather than a consistent level of drama and building up to something that could be quite substantial. However, there's enough here to enjoy, and the drama this week is still pretty good, all things considered. Let's hope that the narrative picks up and we step it up a gear for the remaining episodes, because the cracks are certainly starting to show. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.